Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Mommy Bechi here. Welcome back to my kitchen. If you're a returning subscriber, if you're a new subscriber, you're welcome. So today I want to show you how to make this perfectly shaped donut. So these are the ingredients to be using for today's donut. I'll start by proofing the yeast. I'll be using 2 tablespoons of yeast for this quantity of flour. All you have to do is to put your yeast in a little bowl, add sugar so that the yeast will see something to work on while it proof. And I'm going to add warm water from the water I'll be using to make the donut into the yeast. Stir it and cover it to proof about 10 to 15 minutes. And that is just it. While we are proofing the yeast, I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients and other ingredients together with the flour. Make sure to sieve your flour to avoid any kind of particles in your flour. I'll be making use of powdered milk for this donut recipe. You can make use of liquid milk, but I make use of powdered milk for this recipe. And because of that, I just mixed it into the flour. I'm going to break my egg. I'll be making use of 2 eggs for this recipe and margarine. You can make use of butter if you have butter, but for this recipe I'm making use of margarine. So I'm going to check on the yeast. It's perfectly proofed. I'm going to mix in the margarine, the softened margarine. After that, the egg, followed by our yeast, and that is just it. When mixing in your margarine or your butter, make sure the flour is well crumbled before you add other ingredients. I just added the yeast and I'm going to rinse it out with the water I'll be using for this donut recipe, and I added the egg and I'm going to mix everything with the spatula. So right now it's time to use my hand to mix everything together. But before that, I'm going to measure in the vanilla flavor I'll be using for this donut. I'll be adding it to the water that I'll be using to mix the donut, and I'll be adding the water gradually until I arrive at the texture I want. Even though I've done this before, but you have to be careful not to add every ounce of the water immediately. So you have to add it gradually to know when you achieve the texture of dough you need for the donut. I'll be adding the rest of the water because we have almost gotten the texture of dough we need, but it's still a little bit hard, so I added the rest of the water. So I'm going to clear this place so that I can place this dough on a hard surface and knead it. I kneaded this dough for about 10 to 12 minutes to achieve a smooth dough. So we are there. I'm going to knead it for about a minute more. Then I'm going to cut it and place it in a bowl. Make sure you oil your dough. You can use any oil of your choice. I made use of olive oil here. I'm going to be cutting the dough into 2 parts, not 2 equal parts though. I'll be adding it into bowl. I'm going to cover it to proof for 1 hour 30 minutes. I'm going to brush the olive oil to the plastic. The reason why I'm brushing in the olive oil is to prevent the dough from sticking to the body of the plastic. I'm going to allow it to rise or proof for 1 hour 30 minutes. After that, we are going to cut it into the shape of donut we want it to be. About 1 hour 32 minutes right now. I'm going to punch down the dough and I'm going to bring it out of the bowls. Because I'm not making use of this immediately, I'm going to still cover it. I'm going to cut this into sizes. Similar, not exact. I don't know how to, like, similar in terms of the size. Try as much as you can so that it can be a bit equal. To get an equal shape or equal size for each dough, use a kitchen scale. I'll be using a brown paper to place the dough after folding it in, and I'm going to put a little tiny bit of flour on the surface of the brown paper. You can make use of parchment paper for this or ordinary paper. The reason why I added the flour, a little bit of flour, is so that the dough will not stick to the brown paper too much. So all I'm doing is to bring in each side of the dough to achieve a perfect round shape. Not perfect, but a round shape. Yeah. So make sure you pinch out the outer part and it's smooth. If not, when it gets to the semi-hot oil, it's going to burst open, absorb too much oil or excess oil, and it won't look good. I hope watching me do it makes it easy for you to understand it and to be able to do it. You are going to allow this dough to proof or rise for about 40 minutes to 1 hour. This is the second tray of the dough. So it's just the same process we took when we are doing the first tray. We are using the same process for the second tray, and that is just it. After which I'm going to cover it to proof for 40 minutes to 1 hour. Is perfect. It's about 45 minutes now into proofing it. So this result is absolutely good. I'm going to pour in some oil in the frying pan to get ready to fry it. If you have any difficulty in removing the dough from the pepper which is placed, you can do it this exact way I did it in this video. I actually took my time and scraped it out, or you can allow it to fry. At some point it's going to remove because the oil is going to separate it from the pepper. Please don't place the donut in a very hot oil. If the oil is a bit hot, please place the donut. If you place the donut in a very hot oil, it will mean that the donut is just going to get browned and the inside part of the donut will just be raw. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. See you in my next video. Bye.